Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the Rebirth server. We are with our Stalker Tiger Shrike, who is level 43. She has 16 million experience with 200 and something thousand left to go until level 44, when we will be getting a new power. And I am doing some missions for Maxwell Christopher, trying to get into his story arc. But I wanted to bring you guys back now because I'm afraid in this mission or the next I will gain a level, and I figured you guys would want to see how things are going. So it's been a while since I've recorded anything because I said I was going to do every other story arc, and I got into a very long story arc that gave us the Julianne's Diary. This is the Countess Cray storyline, and so I did that one with this character, and we're almost level 44. That's because I was doing some of that during Rebirth's anniversary weekend, where they were doing times 2 for 1 week and then times 3 XP, so we're getting a lot of bonus XP. And I didn't turn the XP off because I didn't see any reason to do that. So now we're fighting the Nemesis, and we need to defeat all villains in the Weather Lab, and this is a mini arc that Maxwell Christopher gave us, but we aren't into his full story arc yet. I don't remember what his story arc is. I think it might be the False Nemesis one, but I'm not sure. I never remember which contexts give you which arcs. This guy might be close enough to buff those guys, but we're fine. So as we get into this, I will. Oh, we got 2 lieutenants here. I will. You know, as we move along, I'll show you the stats and the enhancements. And I guess I got to turn on focused accuracy. I have buffed the missions to +3. This is my first time doing this, I believe, and so that's going to make things very difficult. And I probably should have brought more accuracy enhancers in here, but we'll probably be able to make do with focused accuracy. Now that guy's been double buffed, so he's going to be a pain. But again, we have focused accuracy, so do the best we can. This is a defeat all mission, so we have to beat up everybody in here. So we have to find every single nemesis and defeat them. So we're definitely going to need to be carrying endurance, and what I probably need to do is carry 2 columns of endurance and 2 columns of accuracy for fighting +3 and +4s. The +3s are fine. So far these guys are all +3. When we get to the +4s, it's going to be really painful in terms of the accuracy. But we've got focused accuracy, so that should help a lot. And just gotta keep going with the endurance, the blue pills, and keep our endurance up as we go. We have a lot of misses. That's just the way it is. Now, interestingly enough, as you guys know, I've been just keeping this character on single origin enhancements, and I can show you that. We got to level 43, and here's what I did for 43. I think I made a finish slash and instant healing or something like that. Level 44, I think we're going to be getting physical perfection, and then we're going to have to slot that. But as you can see from that screenshot, I only have single origin enhancers on my powers. I don't have any invention sets. I don't have any invention trainers or any of that. And so I was talking to one of my group mates, and somehow or other the play styles came up or whatever, and some of them know that I do this. I play with single origins. I don't do sets. I don't I tend not to do even the single trainer, the regular invention trainers, as I call them, the generic IOs, the ones that don't have sets associated with them. And I don't even slot those. Of course, those don't functionally make the character any different from how it would behave with single origins. They just never expire. And so, anyway, somehow or other we were talking about this, and I didn't bring it up. Somebody else was talking about how they enhance characters and that they can't afford things. And I said something like, well, I mean, I have no problem affording things. I just use SOs. And one of my group mates said, that's right, Scrapperlock plays City of Heroes on hard mode. And I'm like, hard mode? +2s and +3s. Like if it was hard, I would be stuck at +0s, right? But yeah, they consider what I do playing the game on hard mode, which I find kind of hilarious because I don't consider it hard. I consider this normal because this is how the game was for years when I played it, right? That's how I learned to play it. It's how I learned to build characters by slotting for the SOs and what the SOs do, not the sets. I mean, for example, most people when they play City of Heroes and they talk about their build, they're not talking about these bonuses, right? If you look at this enhancement, it does 36% buff to damage. This one does a 36% reduction in endurance. This is a 36% reduction in recharge time and so forth. So if you hover over this, you can see all of those values in the second column that are improved, 96 to 36% improvement in all of those abilities. That's what I build for, right? When I talk about slotting an enhancement into a slot, I'm talking about putting an enhancement into the slot for the buff that that specific enhancement directly gives to the powers. But most of my supergroup mates do not build for that. They build for the set bonuses. So I can show you because I have a set one here. If you look at the bottom like 5 lines in gray, increasing smashing and lethal resistance, mes resistance, maximum health, increasing fire and cold resistance, granting a discount on endurance costs, and improving the research time of all your powers. That's what they build for. They build for those bonuses, not the bonus up at the top. It says 24% recharge and 24% endurance. They don't care about those. They care about the set bonuses. And that's what they build for, right? And they just assume because the sets will give you enough, and these guys are +4s, the sets will give you enough of a sort of a buff to your powers for what the sets directly give you that you don't even have to worry about it. And you may as well be like Doctored Wounds is going to give you as much bonus or more as slotting for SOs. So what matters about Doctored Wounds isn't the bonus that it gives you directly, right? At least for most people, it's the set bonus. And that's what they build for. And I don't build for that, right? I build for what the direct bonus is. I thought I hit Delpain. Why is this not going off? Okay, I see what was happening. It wasn't fully recharged even though it said it was. So I'm building for the direct bonus that the enhancement gives, right? I look at Doctored Wounds and I see 24% recharge and 24% endurance. That's why I'm putting it in the power. Now, I like the set bonus, but to me the set bonus is a bonus, not what I'm building the set for, right? But most of my teammates on the supergroup are building for the set bonuses exclusively, and they will spend millions upon millions to get an enhancement that doesn't do any more than an SO would, but it gives them a 2 or 3% buff to something that it's really hard to get a bonus in otherwise, right? Like perhaps mes defense if you're a blaster or something like that. And so I build entirely differently because I'm building for what the actual slot bonus is rather than the set bonus, and almost nobody plays that way. Now, if you're building for slot bonuses, SOs are fine. Yes, sets are a little bit better because instead of 33% in 3 things and then plus 100% in one thing, you'll get like 67% in 2, 33% in 1, and plus 100% in the other, or 90% in the other. And so, yeah, they're a little bit better. But as you can see, I'm fighting +4s, right? That's as high as you can go. The game won't give you more than +4s, right? And so I think even in +4 missions, I don't know if it gives you +5s. I don't know if I've ever tested that. Maybe I'll have to test that with Silver Phoenix. I don't think it gives you +5s. I think it just caps at +4. And so it's pretty much the highest the game can give you in your own missions is +4s, right? So like this character with SOs is doing just fine, at least against Nemesis, against the highest you can possibly set it on, pretty much, right? So why would you need to be more powerful? Like literally all I would want from set bonus is a little more accuracy so I don't whiff quite as much. Or failing that, I wouldn't mind to have a couple of extra slots so I could triple endurance reduce focus accuracy and just run it all the time without running out of endurance. Or failing that, I would love to be a regen scrapper that has quick recovery, because then we wouldn't have endurance problems at all. I'm going to go upstairs and make sure that there's nobody up here, because sometimes they're hiding up here. And this is a defeat all, so we don't want to have to come back if we can avoid it. I think we have been everywhere here. So yeah, it's really interesting. I apparently have a reputation in my supergroup for playing the game on hard mode, which is hilarious because to me, you know, hard mode is doing things like the Incarnate Trials. At least I always assume that they're harder than this, you know. Maybe they're not. I don't know. I've never done them. I do know I like a good challenge, and I feel like so far, this mission has been more of a challenge than normal. I've got a clue. More of a challenge than normal, but still doable. So, one Nemesis soldier told me where his location was. We don't know why he wanted him, but he wanted him. So Nemesis is trying to use this guy to affect the weather somehow. Now, speaking of doing +4s, when they are +4 to you, the following buffs apply. First of all, you have a lower chance to hit, right? Your chance to hit is subtracted by about, I think it's about 7% per level, something like that, above you. So I'm basically working at something like -28 to hit. And we can look at this guy right now and see. I had a 95% chance to hit, so I must have been operating under a buff. Let's see what happens when I'm not. That is a lieutenant. We don't want to hit him first, so let's hit this guy first. Oh, focused accuracy is helping me. Alright, so I had an 83% chance of focus accuracy running against a +3. It would be lower against a +4, of course. What we need to do is take focus accuracy off, and then we can, when we go after a minion that's +4, and then we can see just exactly what our chance is without that. It's a +3 minion that's been fortified. Or whatever that name of that dying buff is. So let's take focus accuracy off. We'll look at what we have to hit a +3. 65. So our base is 75, but we also have accuracy, and so we basically have about a 95% chance to hit. And so if we're down to 65, that means it's like -30. So that's about 10% reduction per level. So it'll be -40 against +4s. Now the focused accuracy running will have a slight improvement over that, but it's 40. So it's about -10 per level. So when we have guys that are +4 to us, how did I miss this guy? When we have guys that are +4 to us, it'll be even lower chance. So let's see. Well, the Assassin Strike is 80%. Let's see, what's this one? Yeah, 53, right? Without focused accuracy, we have a 50-50 chance of hitting. Okay, so that's kind of the effect of the +4. In addition to our reduced chance to hit, they are resistant to us. We do 10% less damage. So you have 10% less chance to hit and about 10% less damage. I think it's about that much. And then on top of that, they hit us more often and they do more damage. So like they have a 10% higher chance to hit, something like that. Maybe it's 5, 10, something like that. and they do like 5-10% more damage. So when you add all of that up, that's what makes it harder. And it's all based on the relative level difference, not the absolute level. All right, so now we're going to call our contact. What? Return the data to Maxwell, but we can't call him. All right. I will pause it here, and when I get back to him, I will bring you guys back. Okay, we're back, and he says, I don't believe this, but it checks out. Nemesis has been in control of the weather worldwide for the last 2 years. 2 years. We only found out about it now. He could parch fields, flood cities, sink fleets. The world could be at his mercy, or would be, if I wasn't on the case. I mean, we. Sorry, if we weren't on the case. Yeah. So he says the data you found and the data we have is enough. We should be able to pinpoint other weather control stations, but just taking them out won't be enough. We're going to have to subvert his weather control network. I'm going to send you to see Dr. Steve Sheridan, and Sheridan will be able to help us. Still not a story arc. It feels like a story arc. I guess it's a mini arc. This feels a lot like the old days. I think I'm going the wrong way. A lot like the old days where you didn't know you were on a story arc and you were just doing one. So yeah, we'll have to just see where this leads. I don't remember this one from my scrapper. I probably did it, but I don't remember it. So in terms of clues, we have no clues. So that's weird. That means we're not on a story arc. But we got to talk to Sheridan, and then we'll have to call Christopher back again. So yeah, we're fighting +3s and +4s now rather than 2s and 3s. We weren't having any problem against Nemesis. I suspect we will have a lot of trouble against something like Circle of Thorns if they have their Nerva Demons. If they don't have their Nerva Demons, we won't, because the Behemoths are no problem. Didn't even need to pop instant healing that last time, and so we're going along. Things are going well. So I'm going to keep it at this difficulty level for now, and we'll see how it goes. You can see that we get lots of XP, like 4,000 XP for a minion, almost. And tons for lieutenants and stuff. He says, Tiger Shrike, Maxwell, Christopher told me to expect you. I spoke with several leading experts on both Nemesis and weather control theory, and I think I have a workable plan for you. By adjusting the settings in the manner I've outlined, you should be able to ease the world's weather back to its state. And now we have to go defeat all foes in Independence Port. I'm just going to take the mission teleporter. You can use this once every couple hours, I think. Yeah, once every 2 hours. And since I only play like couple or 3 missions at a time in a 2-hour stretch, and then I take breaks or try again tomorrow, it's actually plenty for me. So now we have to defeat all foes in what looks like a lab. So we're in another lab, and we have to defeat all foes and reconfigure 4 devices. So yeah, guys, feel free to leave comments about, how you play the game. Do you use SOs, or do you do what my supergroup mates do? Do you consider me to be playing the game in hard mode? Like, it really doesn't occur to me that that's the case. This is just how I play, so I never thought of it as hard mode, and I certainly don't think of it that way when I'm friggin' fighting +3s and +4s without breaking a sweat. So, of course, we'll see what happens when we come up upon our first +4 elite boss, and that will probably be no joke. But except for that, we should have no problems. And the +3s we already know we can take with no difficulties because we've been doing that in the +2 missions. Roughly half the enemies are +1 to the mission, so we've been fighting +3s all along. The question is really how we do against +4s, and the evidence seems to be against Nemesis, excuse me, at least, that we have no problem against +4s. Except when I'm too stupid to wait for Hyde to re-engage. Fortunately, between Dull Pain and Reconstruction, I have a lot of things I can do to cover for my own mistakes. Look at that. 3 misses in a row. That's the thing that's hard about fighting enemies so far above your level, is all those miss streaks. And by the way, that's another interesting comment that one of my super mates, the same one that when I said I was playing it on hard mode, he was like, I don't know how you can stand all the miss streaks. And I said, well, what do you mean? So he, like, I don't get miss streaks anymore. And I'm like, how would you not get miss streaks? He's, well, I guess because he's capped with all his accuracy bonuses. I'm like, well, that's true now. But when you're playing low-level characters, don't you still have miss streaks? I mean, even if you give your characters 10 million influence and they have sets from the get-go, you don't have a lot of usable enhancement slots, so you can't have completed sets at level like 8, because you don't. Most of your powers only have 1 or 2 slots, and the set bonuses require you to have 5 or 6 things slotted in. So I'm not really sure how he can avoid miss streaks entirely, unless he's only been playing high-level characters for a while. Because with low-level characters, and this stupid sniper saw me. With low-level characters, you absolutely will get miss streaks. There's no way to avoid it because you don't have. Oh, great! I over-aggroed. I'm gonna have to use instant healing on this one, and I'm gonna have to run because I don't have any healing inspirations, and I was not watching. I thought I looked over to the side and didn't see anybody, but obviously I was wrong. It's interesting that the Jaegers, I was going to say the Jaeger didn't follow. He should have. The Lieutenant doesn't follow, so it's actually a good tactic if you're fighting Lieutenants like that and you get overwhelmed to hit the non-Lieutenant, the sniper, to hit the non-sniper and pull him away. And that then gives you the ability to sort of divide and conquer. Now, is he going to see me? Yeah. Okay, let's take care of this guy first. Yeah, fighting 2 snipers at once is a pain because they're very accurate. More so because they are +4. More so when I keep screwing up. Gonna need focus accuracy here just to make sure I hit. And we should be able to take this guy out with no problem, and then we can finish the other guy. Let's placate the other guy. And we leveled up, so now we will have no trouble in this mission. So we're level 44 now. We'll be able to get physical perfection with, which should help our endurance issues, and will also increase our regeneration rate a little bit. We're getting back almost 28 hit points per second, which is very good. So there's a sniper here. Let's take this guy out so he doesn't bother me. We don't need the accuracy on +3s. Oh wait, these guys are only +2s, right? Because a +3 mission and I gained a level. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Do you feel like I'm playing on hard mode? Do you like to play on this, on hard mode like this? Or not so much? Placated him. I can't use instant healing yet, which is unfortunate. Come on. There we go. That does a lot of damage to him. We are helped by the fact that he's only +2 to me. If he was +4, we'd be doing a lot less damage. We'd be missing more often. And now he's going to go invulnerable. So I'm just going to sit here and wait. Actually, you know what? We could grab a glowy. And then by the time we're done clicking on it and accessing, we should be able to hit him. Can we? Not yet? There we go. And he's done. So we defeated everybody. And now we just need to reconfigure the last device. And we should have stopped Nemesis's weather plot. And we gained a level. We're level 44 now. Guys, that's why I wanted to bring you back now, so that you could see us level up. And pick our new power. And now we have to... Yeah, this is one of these really long mini-arcs. They did the same thing to me in the last mission, where they were like, here, go to this other mission as soon as you were done with the one. But we're not going to do that today. I'm going to head back to Talos Island, and we're going to level up and get physical perfection. And while we're here, I'm going to sell, because this guy gives us full price on everything. And we do not need the invention generics. Touch of Death we can keep. I don't believe I have the ability to craft any of these recipes. I do not. So we'll just keep them until we can. And we will head to Talos Island. And we will talk to Luminary, and she will give us our next level. So, +3s is just fine. For missions, the +4s aren't too bad. I think we'll keep it that way. Next level. Physical perfection, right? And this is going to give us 20% regeneration bonus and a 12% recovery bonus. So let's take it. And now our regeneration rate has gone up by about a hit point a turn. A second, rather. I'm thinking in D&D terms because I've been DMing lately, and so I think of turns and rounds now instead of seconds. We also want to go to Peregrine Island and grab an endurance modification. Do we want to do that, or just wait till 47? Now let's go ahead and do it. We're rich. So I'm going to go to Peregrine Island, and I'll grab the endurance modification enhancer from the vendor, and then we will stop for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm glad to be back doing this. If you've been paying attention to the rest of my stream, I've been doing a lot of Satisfactory playthroughs, and that's a fun game, but it's not City of Heroes, and I've kind of been missing narrating for you guys. On the other hand, doing every other story arc has let me catch up. I just today posted the end, or yesterday posted the end of season 4, so this is season 5, so we're now caught up to the right season finally. Haven't been there where I'm posting within the season that I'm doing since probably the end of season 1. So now we need mutation, and we need endurance modification. There. And we're going to go ahead and put that into physical perfection, which is going to bump that up to 16%. Alright, so we're going to stop there, guys, and we will be back with another episode in the near future. Until then, I am Scarberlock, and this has been City of Heroes on the Rebirth server.